Okay, here's the deal. I voted. I had to vote on a provisional ballot. So it's kind of weird. This says the Board of Voter Registration and Elections of York County will hold a hearing to determine whether your provisional ballot will be counted in the results of this election. There's a hearing location and time. I'm going to go to this, even if nothing more than just to experience and learn more about our political process. I want to lay my own eyes on what happens here at the end of February. So I'm gonna go to this. The day has come to defend democracy. Over 100 people in my county received provisional ballots, including myself. Only 2 appeared at the hearing to defend their vote. The others you see next to me observing the meeting were precinct clerks. People not there because they were required to be, but because they care about this election process. Those who appear at the hearing are guaranteed to speak and be heard. Before the process begins, someone goes through and makes recommendations as to whether or not the votes should be approved or rejected. At that point, the council will either second that notion or refute it. In today's case, the council did nothing but accept the recommended approvals and reject the recommended rejections. During this meeting, I had firsthand direct confirmation that a vote was rejected that may not have been had the person appeared at the hearing. You're about to see in its full length my hearing. Before, I want you to see the hearing for the other American that showed up to defend his vote. I will mute mentions of his name from this video to protect his privacy. This man, though, is an American patriot, a military service member multiple times over. He came to defend his vote. He wanted to see that our state's election process is being done honorably and constitutionally.
Okay. To exercise the duties of the office.
To exercise the duties of the office.
To which I have been elected or appointed.
To which I have been elected or appointed.
And that I will.
And that I will.
The Constitution of this state and of the United States.
The Constitution of this state and of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. And yes,
I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I am duly qualified
that I am duly qualified. We are now going to go into our provisional ballot hearing. And Alan, I'll let you.
Okay, so first thing, we've got a couple voters here that had some provisional ballots cast, and we want to go ahead and take care of them before we go through the whole bulk of them, so individually. Sir, you had a question about a statute before we started. Do you want to see that statute?
The provisional ballot that I had to fill out last Saturday, because when I got to the church to vote, I was informed that where I registered with DMV, there was no record.
Okay.
So a very nice lady, who I guess she was the polling captain or
Sure.
wherever she was, I can't remember her name, very nice lady, very informative. The first lady at the table said, "We don't have your name." Now, being who I am, you don't know who I am, okay? I am suspect as former military, retired lieutenant colonel. All of the oaths that I have taken to preserve, defend, and to protect this still great Constitution. Okay, so as soon as I go in there, they don't have me anywhere.
Okay.
Now that right there threw up a red flag. Incompetence, ineptitude, the left not registering what's on the right, whatever the reason, I don't care. So then I had to fill out a provisional ballot But when I first went in there, the first thing I saw was voting machines. That's another issue, okay? But that concerns me because of everything that is now coming out that is truthful, and I've got those facts. Be glad to discuss that infinitum with anybody that wants to discuss it, okay? So I filled out the provisional ballot that gentleman just handed to me. But then I was informed that I needed to have a social security number on it. Now, that being stated, I've been hacked quite a few times over the years. The DMV already has my social security number. They've had it since 1973. I'm that old. Okay? So that's never changed. I've been a resident of York County for 2.5 years now. Prior to that, Lancaster County. My family has been in primarily Lancaster County and York County since the late 1700s. Okay? So predicated on what happened on Saturday, I was very suspect. But again, I'm old. If you've been through what I've been through in 3 military conflicts and taken 3 for God and country, you'd appreciate where I'm at. I'm suspect in anything to do with the government. Okay. My question here a week later, practically, did my vote actually count? Well, if it's never been in the system and based on the documentation presented to me just a few minutes ago, that tells me that it's not. That's a problem. So I see 5 or 6 things going on here, and I'm not pointing fingers, but I'm very concerned with the process. That is why I'm here. So one of my questions is, okay, now they're wanting my social security number. Glad to give you my tax ID, because that's connected to me personally. Okay? So is there a statute based on existing precedent that says I gotta put my social security on that document? And if so, I'd like to see it.
Here you go. I'll actually, you want me to read it to you? I'll be glad to. It's section 75170 of the State Election Commission Code, Title
All right,
7.
let me, okay, what am I,
Right
what,
here.
okay, hang on, what is this document?
That's
Okay,
the South Carolina voter registration and election laws of 2022. This contains all the election laws in the state of South Carolina.
Thompson Reuters, okay,
This is produced by the State Election Commission and it is printed by them.
yeah, I know who they are, all right.
So it's section 2 of Title 75170. Form of application. The application must be on a form prescribed and provided by the executive director and shall contain the following information: name, sex, race, social security number, date of birth,
Which the system already has.
address, mailing address, telephone number, and
South
application.
Carolina's got all of that.
Sure. But when you move to one between counties, you have to re-register to vote.
Correct.
That's a new registration from us.
Correct.
In that event that took place, we don't have your social security number. So we could not
Okay,
take that.
so who doesn't have my social security?
Our office does not.
Okay. Where is that information going to be stored?
It's stored at the State Election Commission.
So once I hand do it on that piece of paper, somehow it gets sent to somebody.
That paper doesn't leave here.
Okay.
So we can't register you to vote in York County without that. So if you're not gonna complete that, then the
No,
ballot.
now I've got a reasonable explanation.
Okay.
You show me this, that makes me feel better.
Okay.
You're paying attention,
Yeah.
okay? That's great. That can't be said about that's another conversation. Okay, I'll do that. Based on your representations.
Sure.
I'm glad to do that now.
Okay.
Okay, because you sit in a position of accountability.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Voted or appointed?
I'm appointed,
Who appoints you?
these individuals here.
Okay, and so you maintain an elected position.
We are appointed by the delegation from the state. We're not appointed by the county.
By the General
Your
Assembly.
state elected officials
Okay.
locally appoint us.
Okay.
And the
I'm
hierarchy,
just, I don't wanna interrupt anything.
Yeah, and that's-
I'm very curious.
yeah, that's how it is. We're appointed by the state, men and women who are elected, your state representatives, senators. We actually elect, we appoint, applies for the job, just like any job. And how many years did you work here as an assistant director before?
This is 11 years.
11 years, and he's been, you, going on
Since
2 years,
22, yeah.
going on 2 years.
good.
Well, my election experience is about 20 years.
Yeah.
And I work for the state election.
We just hope that the registered voters end up as happy with Alan and his work as we are.
Okay.
He's very thorough, and none of us are gonna do anything except follow South Carolina law.
Good.
You could be one of us' father standing here, and we're not gonna break the law for you.
Good.
That's the way it works.
I also hold a JD in the Constitution.
I kinda thought you might, the way you were
I'm
wording
one of those
things.
guys.
Oh,
Janetta,
Okay.
the governor has to sign off on this.
yes, the governor, actually, whoever the governor is at the time, sends us the formal letter, of official further final appointment, so.
I just learned a lot, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
See, you're never too old to learn.
Yeah, I say that all the time
Now-
on my national podcast every week.
On this particular form, the only thing you would need to fill out really is just the last four of your social.
I
I'm sorry.
That's why you see me hovering like
That's
this.
fine. The social security number, the only thing we need is the last four for this to be complete.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, Pen.
Sure,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, were you a JAG officer? Or were you in, what is it, infantry, where if your hearing's bad, were you around a lot of
Well,
guns?
That has to do with a lot of things. What I can tell you, Malawi, Nicaragua, 85.
Oh,
Desert Storm 91, 92, Kabul, Afghanistan, recently.
and we thank you.
And I'm too old now for them to keep tabs on me, but they do, trust me, because of who I am. Because I'm that guy with everything going on the left, the progressive movement, don't get me started on that.
Yeah, we can't talk about that.
Well,
So,
you can, but you can't, I get it. But it's just, with everything I've been through, because without people like me, nobody in here
I know,
has the freedoms and liberties that we still have while we still have them. But we're in a police state. So,
but is that your wife?
yes,
Were you registered okay and everything in the county and able? Did they-
she's the problem child because she is technically still a resident of Florida. We have
Okay.
property in Florida.
Okay,
In case I need to leave
I
you
got
if
you.
they've already.
I was just
Right-
wondering if
right
you
there.
made it
Yeah,
through
right
the,
in this space.
so,
No, I still, cause we have property in Florida,
okay,
and that's where I came from, and I've always just
okay.
been in Florida.
And what it is, you say your vote hadn't counted, no, this
Well,
whole
I'm just, that's
four
why I asked
sheets,
the question.
4 sheets of provisionals that we're going through today. By far, the majority of them we will accept,
Yes.
and at the end of this meeting, they will be run through the scanner counter, and yes, sir, they will be counted.
Good.
So I have a feeling yours is going to be
That
in the
was the only
batch
thing that
that,
we were waiting on.
that will click off another vote.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for
Thank you.
putting up with me. Okay, all right.
Okay,
Very good.
so here. This ballot here is for, who completed its
So
application.
Alan, is there still something that I still need to do at this point?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Because I heard you say that,
We're gonna rule on it,
We're about to make the motion to rule on yours.
that's all.
just me,
Just you.
Right at the moment.
that we're having to do a special motion to
Just for
put
you.
up with the problem, child.
Yeah.
No, no.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna expect better behavior next time.
So, this is before the board. Completed his application and has properly registered in York County. And that was the only action we were missing off the provisional ballot.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept Mr. ballot?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Any more discussion? We have a second. All in favor of accepting Mr. ballot, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You're good.
So now my vote,
It's counted.
based on how that side of the equation works, it will be now counted.
Yes, sir, at the end of this meeting with all the other ones off of these 4 pages that are accepted, yes, sir. These guys take them to the machine, just like on voting day, run them through, and they're tallied in the final
A
total.
machine,
A machine, yeah, we don't have a person down there with a, going, yeah, a machine.
would by chance, any of those machines in York County, are they manufactured by Smartmatic, EDS, or Dominion?
No. They're ES&S,
They're ES&S.
out of Omaha, Nebraska.
Which one?
ES&S out of Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay, I could give you a whole dissertation on them, but maybe that's for another time.
Yeah,
People like
yeah.
to know.
I mean, it is what it is,
Yeah,
so the.
that's
They're
my,
they're all over the state. You
Yeah.
had them when you voted in Lancaster County.
yeah, unfortunately.
They're statewide.
We have to get rid of the machines.
The next person on the,
Alright.
agenda here is Mr. Ryan, Welty, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
He's got a change of address with us. This is a fail-safe, provisional ballot that was provided, and he completed that, provided his updated address, and, it is verified that his information was correct. So there's the ballot is before you to make a decision.
Do I have a motion to accept Mr. Ryan Douglas Welty's ballot? Thank you. Second.
Second.
Any discussion on this? Any questions? Okay. All in favor of accepting Mr. Welty's ballot, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It is accepted. You're good also. And that, like Mr. yours will be in the batch that's run through and counted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Like I said earlier, the rest of the hearing, the committee just in unison accepts and rejects ballots based on Alan's recommendation. But I find this exchange interesting here. The lady in the middle is going to ask me why I'm recording.
Okay, so on the second page of the 4-page document,
After the hearing wrapped, I was asked one more time, this time by one of the observing precinct clerks, basically, why are you recording? She asked me specifically, are you recording for a candidate? Were you sent here by a candidate? Of course, I did answer that. I said no. Obviously, I have no communication with any of the candidates involved in the presidential election. Listen, I hope you guys found value in what I presented today. 2 things on the way out. Subscribe. I'm going to continue putting feet to the ground. The next thing I'm reporting on will be the March 2nd Trump rally in North Carolina, Greensboro. I'll be there. The last time I reported on a Trump rally, it was South Carolina. Our video went semi-viral thanks to you all engaging with the comments. The way that we get normal people, the greater population in America, to educate and to see what's going on politically is if we push the content through things like liking the video, subscribing, most importantly, I think, commenting. If you made it to the end of the video, comment the word something, I don't know. Comment the word something so that I know you made it to the end of the video. That's if you have nothing better to comment. Just comment something so that it pushes this content to people who really need to see it. Thank you for watching. I gotta go. Insane weekend ahead. I hope to see Donald Trump in the flesh for the first time in my life. I will see you then on Welty.